there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and I'm pretty happy. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 35, and my husband got me a video camera so I can shoot my beautiful crafty videos in high definition. I'm so excited. This is what I used to shoot my videos on. It's just a little Canon PowerShot point and shoot. And it worked fine, but hopefully now you'll be able to see a little more detail in my videos. Also, I wanted to let you know that there's a new website called mycraftchannel.com, and they're going to be showing craft shows from big names in the crafting industry, and they're actually looking for some fresh faces, so I'm hoping that they will consider me for a spot as a guest host. So if you're watching out there, mycraftchannel.com, please consider me for a guest host spot. That would be awesome. A couple days ago, a friend of mine asked me if I'd ever used the foam moldable stamp material that you can make your own stamps with. And you know, I hadn't, but what I have used is blocks from the dollar store, baby foam blocks, bath blocks, these things right here, and I've made my own stamps that way. Here's a card that I made with those stamps, and you can see, hopefully in high definition, I hope you can see, that it does a great job. So I'm going to show you how to make some custom stamps today using your embossing folders, texture plates, and found objects, and your heat gun, along with just some foam blocks, foam stamps, and I'm going to show you how to make some really cool custom stamps. I mean, your brain is going to be buzzing by the end of the show. So let's get to it. Okay, what you need for this project is some sort of texture, which I have some Fisker's texture plates here. I have some found objects, some buttons here, and I have an embossing folder. And you need some foam bath blocks. So I've just got these dollar store foam bath blocks, and they're going to work just fine. And you also need a heat tool, because that is how you're going to transform these little blocks into a custom stamp. So the first thing I want you to try is heating up your bath block and pressing it onto an embossing folder. Embossing folders are really deeply grooved, so they make really great textures for stamps. You only need to heat it up for a couple seconds, and then you just want to press it down firmly until you feel like the foam has cooled off. Alright, now I have a nice texture on here, and I'm just going to ink it up in some ink so you can see how well it has formed, and press it on the paper, and you can see I have a really cool stamp. I can turn it, I can make like a tiled background, or I could stamp it and cut it out or punch it out or whatnot. Now if I get sick of this design, I can simply clean off the stamp here with my stamp cleaner. Squirt, squirt. There we go. Clean that off. Heat it up again with my heat gun just for a few seconds. And press it onto another part of my embossing folder, and then I can make a whole new design. You don't have to worry if your design doesn't come out very well the first time, because you can just heat it up and do it again until you get exactly what you want. See? And you can turn it and get all sorts of different looks. Now you're not limited to just embossing folders, because I know not everybody has embossing folders. Here are some buttons that I just dumped out of my button jar, and I'm going to use this as my texture. This is really cool. So again, I'm going to just wash off my block, wash off the old ink, and heat it up. The block gets a little kind of darker and shinier when it's heated up, so you can kind of tell when the block starts to look a little different, then it's ready to go. Alright, oh, that gave me a really deep groove. I'll stamp it out in some brown so you can see it good. Here it is with the ink. Isn't that cool? I mean, that's like a photorealistic stamp there. Think of the really cool backgrounds you can make. Now these blocks come in different sizes. These are just the like 1.5-inch baby bath blocks, but they also have sets of building blocks out of foam at the dollar store that have, you know, circles and diamonds and different shapes like that will also work really well for this technique. This was a stamp that I purchased a few years ago. It was just like a set of foam stamps that you could use to stamp on walls or whatnot, and I just heated it up and pressed it on this wood grain embossing plate, and I made a pretty cool wood grain stamp. when you're using a large area like this is about 3 inches by 3 inches, it is kind of hard to get everything heated up at the same time so it will work, but you just have to work quickly and then press it directly onto the plates and you'll be fine. I do find the smaller blocks, like the 1 to 2 inches wide, a little easier to work with. But there, I mean, that's a pretty cool background right there. Now I'm going to show you how you can kind of put things together. Here I took just a regular half sheet of cardstock card, and I embossed a panel with that same Clockworks embossing folder that we used to make our first stamp. And then I stamped out, I inked this with some creamy caramel and some chocolate chip ink, and then I stamped out that the homemade foam stamps with really rust and bordering blue. You can use whatever colors you have. I just happen to have quite a few Stampin' Up! Ink pads, so I used those. And I matted it on a little scrap of brown. And look how cute that looks together. Now all I need to do to make a card for a guy, which I always need more of and I have a hard time making, is take a little pocket watch that I stamped. This is stamped about 10 years old. It's by Rubber Stampede. Some elements never go out of style, so I always caution people before they go through their stamps to throw things away, that they really look at what they have. These are a few years old. They're just little peg-mounted alphabets, and I keep them in an origami box because that way I can pull them out really easily, because the boxes they came in are too tight and they're hard to get access to them. And then I just took this birthday sentiment. If you follow my blog, thefrugalcrafter.wordpress.com, you saw the birthday card I made this weekend for my nephew-in-law. Well, this is just an extra sentiment that I stamped, and I'm going to stick that right in the middle. And look how quick and easy that card was to make. It was easy to coordinate because we made our stamps from our embossing folder, and then we just used those stamps and the embossing folder to make our card. But you can use anything. You can use your texture plates, found objects. Kids' toys often have really cool textures on them. You could heat up some foam and press it onto there. Really, the sky is the limit with this technique. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting!